Adjusting just a little bit. Let's try to get some people in here. I'm really making this live stream right now because I could see the film tomorrow. I could see the film. I'm supposed to see the movie Thursday night, 7 p.m. But there's a possibility I could see this movie before then. So I wanted to go ahead and make this live stream, and I wanted to do this. Place your bets on who do you think is the actual Ghostface. Who do you think it's going to be? I mean, we are moments away because Wednesday, the embargo is lifting tomorrow. So a lot of spoilers are going to be online, and we don't know. You want to avoid those, but at least I want to make this live stream to where people can go ahead and place your bets, lock them in, don't look at spoilers, and let's have fun with this. Let's see if we're right or if we're wrong about who is Ghostface, right? I know it's late, might not even get anybody in here, but I'm up, I'm off work, and I figured I would do a live stream. Whoa, something's going on with my audio. Let me know if my audio is okay. If you're in the, put it in the chat if my audio is all right. This is just a late night, midnight live stream of who is Ghostface. Let's go ahead and place our bets, and before the embargo lifts tomorrow. So like I'm off work tonight. This is kind of like a last minute thing that I wanted to do. Wasn't really planning on doing this, but I figure I'd go ahead and do it. So let's just see who we get in the chat and everything. Let's see if we can get a conversation going and have a late night chat. All right, I think it's stable. Also, I am watching all of the franchise like this week. Scream 3 live stream tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Revisiting all of these movies before Scream 5's release. So stop by if you can. I know a lot of people have to work during the day and stuff like that, but if you get a chance, come by, join the chat, and let's watch Scream. I have a buddy that's joining us that is actually has not seen any of the sequels, so this is like fresh eyes on the franchise. You know, he remembers the first movie a little bit, which we already covered on Monday. And then we watched Scream 2 today. Scream 3 tomorrow, Scream 4 Thursday, and then we see the film 7 o'clock p.m. on Thursday night. And I will have a live stream up for Scream 5, a live spoiler reaction, review, live stream later Thursday night. I will put it out there at what time I will go live. It's a little bit of a distance from my house, so I have to make sure that I get back in time and can start the live and have my thoughts, because I kind of want it to marinate a little bit before I actually go live and give y'all my initial review. And we're going to go with all the spoilers, and we're going to talk about everything Thursday night. So if you don't want to know any spoilers, you don't want to join the chat. But if you want to know everything about the movie Thursday night, I'm assuming it's going to be around between 10 to midnight, 10 p.m. to midnight, that I'm going to go live. If you want to know everything about it, and if you have seen the movie and you want to join the chat and talk about the film, then come by. I'm going to be discussing it all. Scream 5 will officially be out. Let me know if my audio is okay too, if you're here. I just want to know what everybody thinks, is because for me, I have thought I've gone back and forth of who I think the killer is. I think it's going to be, initially I've made videos on that I thought it was going to be Richie and Amber. That I made videos on it. I made videos on that it was going to be Richie and Amber, but now I'm kind of changing my mind on it from some of the other things that I've seen. I'm starting to think, I don't want to reveal it right now. I want some other people to put in the chat who they think is the killer or the killers in this new Scream 5. And I want to have a discussion. Like, place your bets. It's time. The time is now. The embargo lifts tomorrow. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is Ghostface in Scream 5? I've been revisiting all these movies all week long. Scream 3, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. Like I said, this was just a late night, last minute decision. Just thought we would just place our bets and just go ahead and just place them and say, hey, we're going to avoid all spoilers at all costs, and we're going to think about who is actually the killer in this new Scream film. I've said Amber and Richie for so long. Now my mind is kind of changing of some of the other new TV spots that we've seen, and some of the, you know, like I feel like it's too obvious that it could be Amber and Richie. I'm starting to lean towards Mindy a little bit. I know that could be crazy, but nobody's suspecting Mindy. Everyone thinks she's the new Randy, and she very well could be, but I don't know if she is actually Mindy. I don't think Mindy is as innocent as she's coming off to be. Like, maybe she is the new Randy, but she also could be the killer. Nobody's suspecting her, and everybody, it's always the least suspecting person, pretty much. Like Mindy and Wes is who I'm leaning towards now. I'm very curious of who do you think the killers are. Like, you know, we can go back and forth and have all these theories and everything like that, but put your put your actual suspects in the list, lock them down until the actual reveal, until you actually see the movie, and then we'll come back and we will see if we're right or if we're wrong. What's up, Craven Something Scary? Appreciate you coming by, showing some love. This was kind of a last-minute decision. I was in your chat as well. I'm pretty sure you saw a lot of my comments and stuff. Really enjoy your chat. Really enjoy your channel. You're very knowledgeable in the Scream community and Wes Craven community, man. I've been a Wes Craven nut since I was, as far as I can remember, man. I remember, which was not a Wes Craven film, but what really got me started is I was 5, and I remember this. I was on the couch in my parents' house, and somehow A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 was on, and there's that part, and I don't know if you remember this, where Kincaid pushes a car onto Freddy Krueger, and he was like, take that, motherfucker. And and I was so young, and I repeated that as a 5-year-old, and my parents just like flipped out and like was like, "Hey, what'd you say?" Like I'm assuming I was 5. I was somewhere around that age, and from that moment on, man, it was like Freddy was my Batman. Like I was obsessed with scary movies after that, and then when I was a little bit older, probably around 13, 14 years old, whenever I really started getting into horror, I went back and watched the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, 3, all through the franchise. And like, that was really like, I can't believe I even like remember that thought. I just remember getting in trouble for repeating that line. Thank you, Kincaid. I think he's actually going to be at Texas Frightmare. Like the entire Nightmare on Elm Street 3 panel is going to be there. Like Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, the guy who plays Kincaid, I can't even think of his name, but like a lot of the characters, the actors from A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 is going to be at Texas Frightmare in Dallas, Texas. I'm going to that, and I can't wait to meet Kincaid just to tell him this story. You know what I'm saying? Do you have any similar stories like that, Craven, man? I appreciate you coming by and showing me some love, man. For real, I'm a big fan of your channel. Yeah, man, doing a collab would be great, man. Doing a collab would be great. I just recently got back into YouTube, and I kind of stopped for a while. And I wish I never did. I wish I really never did, but job, families, all that kind of stuff gets in the way. I see your channel's blowing up too, man, with this, and with the new Scream movie coming out, man. Like, this is my jam. Like, it always has been. Halloween, Scream, any kind of horror has really been my jam, but like Scream is got to be my all-time favorite horror film. I mean, like, it's just, it's a love letter to horror fans. That's what it is. And I don't care if it does get too goofy at times, if it doesn't take itself too seriously at times. It still is probably smarter than most horror movies that are out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wes Craven was ahead of its time. He was meta before meta was meta. I've always said that. But yeah, I would love to do a collab with you, man. That would be fantastic. I don't do too many collabs. I've done a few. But for somebody that does similar, topics as mine, man, that would be awesome. Just reach out to me. We'll try to find some time and do it. And that would be great, man. That would be great. Craven, I want to know, who do you think is Ghostface? Or is there going to be 2 killers? Or is there going to be 1? Would you be disappointed if there was only 1 Ghostface in this movie, similar to Scream 3? Or would you be relieved, or do you want there to be 3 killers like the original idea for Scream 3 or Scream 2? Let me know. Let's place our bets. That's the reason for this video, is to place our bets and lock them in. And then let's go MIA until after we've seen the movie. Because tomorrow, spoilers are going to be everywhere. And that's what I'm afraid of. I was spoiled on Scream 4. And I don't want to be spoiled on this one. I knew who the killers were on Scream 4 before I went and saw it. And do you know how much more I would have enjoyed that film if I did not know who the killers were? And I was hoping through the whole movie while watching it that I was like, I hope that person was wrong. I hope I'm surprised, and I wasn't. And maybe that's what my why my I don't know, like I feel like Scream 4 was just lacking in something, and maybe that's what took away from it, was that I knew who the killers were. I was hoping for the best, but I got exactly what I thought I was going to get. And I don't want that for Scream 5. I do not. Let's go here. Oh yeah, the original is a masterpiece for sure, for sure. But yeah. That's my entry into horror as a kid. Like I was too young to see A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, even though that's not the better sequel. Even though I am a fan of some of Rennie Harlin's films, and he was, directing that film, that wasn't the best story for. That was like that was MTV Freddy, pretty much. That was when he was coming big into pop culture. But like, no, definitely like, I think I like the Nightmare on Elm Street films exactly like I like the Scream films. I like Nightmare on Elm Street 1, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and Nightmare on Elm Street 3. I kind of like them in the same order. I can't say the same for 5. I have to do a ranking on that. I have to really rewatch the whole franchise. But like 1, 2, and 3 are fantastic. I could watch those over and over. Same thing with all the Scream films, but I like the Scream films in exactly the same order as they're released. Even though a lot of people say Scream 3 is the black sheep of the franchise, I can see that, but I also appreciate it more over time, and I do prefer it over Scream 4. Even though Scream 4 had its great moments, there's just something about 4 that just felt out of place. I felt some things were forced. There was just some things that were just, how would I say? I felt like sometimes Roger Jackson just did not deliver the lines right. It just didn't hit. It didn't seem menacing. Sometimes it felt like, am I in a stab movie? The way he's delivering these Ghostface lines. The look of it felt like a CW show. I mean, there was just several little things that kind of irritated me. Some of the line deliveries, like some of the writing, even though I love Kevin Williamson's writing and wittiness of it, a lot of it just felt forced. And then on top of it, I felt like the movie, the reveal was ruined for me. So that's taken away from the effect as well. Let's go here in the chat for a little bit. I appreciate everybody that's here. Let me know, who do you think who is Ghostface? We're officially placing our bets, and I'm gonna go MIA. I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow for Scream 3, and then after that, I'm gonna go MIA until I see Scream 5, and then I'll have a live stream Thursday night between 10 p.m. to midnight, same time around this time, of a live stream for that film. So if you want to know anything about the film, it'll be at that time. But if you don't want to know anything, you want to go in with fresh eyes, and you're not seeing the movie till later on this weekend, do not come and see my live stream. I will make that clear whenever I go live. Let's see here. Scream is my fave movie franchise. Wes Craven was brilliant. Yes, Craven was way ahead of his time. Even Nightmare, even New Nightmare, like Wes Craven's New Nightmare was phenomenal. Like, even though it doesn't have Freddy like every other scene, and it's not just kill after kill after kill, the story, the way it's orchestrated, the way it's directed, the creativity behind like Craven's just mind was amazing. And I almost thought that the Scream franchise was going to adopt that. I thought that they might do a New Nightmare with this new Scream film. I thought they might, like, the only way to bring the entire cast back is to act like all the Scream movies, or the last few, were just all stab movies, and it was a meta movie within a movie type thing, kind of like Get Shorty or something like that. I don't know if you remember that film, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that was an excuse to say, hey, only Scream 1 existed, everything else was fake. We're going to retcon the entire series, kind of like we did Halloween, and we're going to new nightmare this bitch. That's what I thought they were going to do, and which would still, they could still do that later on, you know. Do I really want that? Some of the cast have aged better than others. I don't know if they still got it like they used to, but it is a cool idea, and it is something that they could do later on. Let me know what you think about that idea. If you've ever seen Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Let's see here. What do you think of the killer being either related to Stu or someone, or somehow having a backstory with Stu, and maybe they led Sydney to Stu as a trap? I'm so excited. Yeah, Impala Boy. Yeah, I love that idea. I love the idea of Stu being the mastermind behind all this. And if this is a new trilogy, you don't really want to, what's the lack of a better word? It's kind of crude, but like, you don't want to blow your load too early. Like, if this is a new trilogy, I would say have it linked to Stu in the house and something that happened in the house. But leave, as much as I want to see Stu back in this movie, I really do, and I'm not going to hate it for it. I want it to happen, but I would rather see Stu in Scream 6 or Scream 7 as the mastermind, similar to what Roman was in Scream 3. You see what I'm saying? I would rather see a reveal like that. Build up that momentum. Like, okay, we're in Stu's house. The motive is someone is killing people that are related to the original killers, but why? Here's the thing. Here's the idea. Who was killed? Here's my idea, is like this link to the original killers. Is it someone that is actually like was a victim in Scream 1, 1996? Did someone get killed in the Stu Macher house or somewhere in the whole 1996, first film between, who did Billy and Stu kill that was related to this new killer? Because it seems like this is a revenge plot, right? If you really think about it, like if the motive's coming back like, hey, the killer is killing people that are related to the original killers, then that means that why would they do that? That means because the original killers killed somebody they loved, or they were related to, or their mom, or their dad, or their sister, or their brother, or their lover, whatever they come up with. That seems to be the motive moving forward with this movie. And so that makes me think that, like, okay, let's say that this movie, the killer reveal is somebody that's related to Stu, but we don't find out that Stu is alive yet. Leave that for the sequel if we get greenlit for a sequel. Same thing for another sequel, like for the third film. If Radio Silence is true to their word and they're saying that they have ideas for a sequel and a trilogy and all that kind of stuff, leave Stu for the next film or for the mastermind for the third film. Because that's how these movies work, right? Even though, as much as I want to see Matthew Lillard back now, and I would accept it, I would love that. And I know, Craven, I know you want to see that as well, man. And I'm with you on it. I'm with you 100%. But if this is a new trilogy, why reveal Stu now? Who are you going to reveal later? You know what I'm saying? That's going to top Stu. You see what I'm saying? That's my idea on it. I could be a little bit wrong. Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Do you want to see Stu now? Do you just want that now for fan service and just because you feel like it should happen because we're back at Stu's house? Or would it be much more of a surprise if it was a sequel or two later, as the mastermind later on, similar to The Following, which Kevin Williamson wrote for Kevin Bacon, that series and everything. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but or that show, very good series. That was the original idea for Scream 3. But they kind of stretched that along, I felt like the first season was more of a Scream 3 idea, and then season 2 and 3 of The Following kind of, just kind of branched off. I kind of lost interest in the show. But really good idea, really great idea. You'll see things of what they wanted to do with Stu in Scream 3 in that show The Following. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Very good show. I need to go back. I'd like to finish that show, honestly. Craven, but yeah. I would love to do a collab with y'all. I think a lot of people said stuff in my chat lately that they would like for us to do a collab together. The Lethal Collective, I watch y'all religiously. Great content, all of y'all. Big fan. Yeah, it is hilarious, Craven. Scream is my fave movie franchise. Wes Craven was brilliant, yes. Also, I believe that the killer isn't just a new random person. Remember, Judy Hicks says she sat next to Sydney in high school. There's so many possibilities. I love the first 4 movies. Yeah. Well, there's only 4 movies. But yeah, let's talk about Judy Hicks for a second, okay? There's that creepy scene in Scream 4 where she is coming out of the shadows at the top of that stairwell with Sydney and talking about, hey, you don't remember me, right? I went to high school with you, blah, 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 blah. And Sydney's just kind of blows her off like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember you. I was going through a lot, obviously. That was obviously sus as fucked, right? Yeah, so she's already a red herring at that point. And we knew nothing about Wes Hicks. We knew nothing about that she had a son. And with these recent reactions on Twitter that's come out that says, hey, you need to see Scream 1 and Scream 4 before you see this film. So it means like you can still watch Scream 2 and Scream 3, but nothing seems linked really too much to Scream 2 or Scream 3. So what is linked between Scream 1 and Scream 4? Well, Judy Hicks and possibly her son. So a lot of people are suspecting that Judy Hicks is the killer in this new movie. A lot of people suspected that in Scream 4. I thought she was too much of a red herring. I did not think that she was a killer. I thought, I honestly, I've made a video recently about how Judy could possibly be the new Dewey. You see that in the background right there, like she's goofy like Dewey. She's become the sheriff now, obviously, in this new film. Dewey has retired or stepped down. There's obviously some type of attraction between Judy and Dewey that made Gail kind of uncomfortable. Who is Wes Hicks' father? That's the big mystery here. Are we even going to get that revealed in this movie? I hope we do. I hope there's a big connection to that. Is it Dewey? Is Dewey her father? I mean, his father? I even did a video on how Randy made that video about how he lost his virginity in the video store with Creepy Karen. Could she have been Creepy Karen from high school? Could there be a flashback scene of Judy Hicks looking in the horror section of the video store and him and her and Randy getting it on, and I know the age doesn't add up, but maybe she was that, or maybe she, was with Billy as well. We see Billy was kind of a ladies' man, I guess, a little bit. That it was hinted on that throughout the movie. Maybe, that was her awkward reaction when she was talking to Sydney at the top of that stairwell, that maybe she knew that she slept with Sydney's boyfriend back in high school, and then Billy ended up being the killer, and it was just this whole awkward moment, you know what I mean? She obviously wasn't very popular because she wasn't very memorable to the high school students, but I would like to see a flashback scene to where she's like possibly either in that video store with Randy, or another scene of her being at the high school. The scene where Sydney and Billy run into each other right after he's released, and they're talking, and they're talking about, like, hey, you don't think I'm still the killer, and they start talking about her mom leaving and or her mom dying, and his mom left, and they had that whole moment. What if she's like down the hallway, just kind of like creeping around the lockers and just like eavesdropping a little bit? That would be cool, just to kind of see that, like see Skeet Ulrich and Nev Campbell in a distance. Don't have any up close, shots because they're older now. Or maybe they'll do de-aging. Who knows what they're going to do in this movie? Or did she attend Stu's party back in 1996? And maybe she has some type of connection to the house. Like maybe she was Stu's girlfriend. Maybe Stu was cheating on Tatum with Judy. He obviously had a thing with Casey Becker. It's been suspected of that. What do you think about that? What do you think? What is your theory on Judy Hicks and her son? If anything, I do not think Judy Hicks is the killer, but I would not run it past that Wes Hicks, Dylan Minette's character, is somehow involved or a killer or knows more than he's supposed to. All right, I'm gonna go down the chat a little bit. Scream is my favorite movie franchise of all time. Sounds good, man. Hey, Craven, just watched the end of your live. I subbed to you, man. Yeah, subscribe to Craven. Very great channel. He has some really good content. Very knowledgeable in the Scream franchise and the Wes Craven films, all that stuff, man. So yeah, you can't go wrong with this channel. I am sticking with two Ghostface killers and a mastermind. I am too, Craven. Craven, I am too, man. I really do think that there is two killers. I want to see two killers in this movie, Like, I felt like when I saw Scream 3 that I was kind of like let down that there was only one killer. And I was kind of like, I almost like felt bad because I was like, who is this guy again? Because Roman always wore glasses throughout the movie. And then when he was revealed to be the killer, his glasses were off. So I was like, wait a minute. Who is this again? I had to be reminded, And then the whole, like, showing that he had a knife and you thought he was dead, but he wasn't dead and all that kind of stuff. It didn't hit me. It didn't hit me back then. I've learned to appreciate Scream 3 more over the years. But when I first initially saw it, I was just kind of like, this did not hit me like Scream 1 or Scream 2. Just the way I felt. But overall, I do like Scream 3. But I do think, I hope there's two killers in this one. I hope they're saving Stu to be if they are saving Stu to be the mastermind. Stu can't be the mastermind in this movie and then there be another mastermind. Like, you don't want it to feel like a forced writing thing, like an afterthought. And that's how Scream 3 felt. It felt like all an afterthought. Now with Scream, with this one, let it be two of the high school killers, or like someone from the past, or one of the new legacy characters, and then in the next film, if they're going to wrap it up, they're going to say, hey, this is the end of Scream. Then let that be the mastermind of Stu, and then show that he had a following. Or the same thing for Scream 7 if they get greenlit for that, which I really do. I think that they're going to get. I think we're in for gold right now. I think we're going to be very successful in this new franchise. But yeah, let me know, Craven. Let me know, everybody. Do you want Stu to be revealed in this movie, or would you like it to be saved as the mastermind for a later sequel? Let me know that in the chat here. I'm going dark online starting tomorrow. I feel you, man. Craven, man, I know. That's why I'm doing this live chat now. This was kind of a last minute thing, and I was like, man, let's go ahead and place our bets. I want to know what everyone thinks. Who do you think is Ghostface? And don't change your mind. Let's go ahead and just say, hey, after everything that we've seen, everything that we think, everything that we've theorized over since the beginning of October, who do you think is Ghostface? Give me two options. Give me two characters in the chat and let me know, and lock it down. Don't change your mind. Be surprised whenever you're sitting in the seats in the theaters. That's the whole fun of these movies, is being surprised. You want to be surprised. If you're right, you're right, and you're going to feel that much better. But if you're wrong, I really think you're going to feel a lot more excitement. You're going to be like, oh shit. You know, that's what Scream's best about, is that oh shit moment. It's like, oh, wow, was not seeing that coming. Hey, 77, awesome, thank you so much. Let's see here. New Nightmare was ahead of its time and was meta before Scream by 2 years. Yeah, Craven, you're right. Wes Craven's New Nightmare was ahead of its time, and I really think that everyone was expecting the same old Freddy carnival, like, hey, let me show up and do some one-liners and somebody gets killed in some horrific fashion. And it just wasn't that. It was just a lot more smarter writing. And honestly, me being so young, you wouldn't think that I would have liked it as much, but I loved it. I was in the theaters. It was another movie that I snuck in to see whenever I was too young to see it. I was supposed to go watch, like, I don't know what was coming out around that time. Like, I don't remember but like my parents would always drop me and my friends off at the theater, and we would go see some movie, and we obviously wasn't old enough. Sometimes I would leave my friends in a movie theater and sneak into the new horror movie that was out that weekend. So yeah, New Nightmare was one of them, and man, I had to watch it like 2-3 times before it even hit, VHS back in the day. If the Chrome Ghostface isn't a scene from Stab 8, it should be Stu. Okay, I feel you on that. Like yeah, this Chrome Ghostface. Like, I had a buddy, never seen any of the sequels to Scream. He's been watching these live streams. I've been doing live streams all week long. Did Scream 1 Monday, did Scream 2 today, doing Scream 3 tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, Scream 4 on Thursday morning, and then I'm seeing Scream 5 Thursday night at 7 p.m. And then I'm going to have a live stream up that night. So come by then, and we'll discuss Scream 5. But I just showed my buddy that's fresh eyes to the entire franchise, pretty much. He hasn't seen the first film since it originally came out, and he couldn't remember anything about it. He didn't even know who the killers were. So he just watched Scream 2 today and never seen it. And then I showed him the trailer to Scream 5, this final trailer that was released earlier today. And he saw the chrome mask, but he thought it was a gold mask. And I was like, no, it's actually the reflection from the flames is giving it that gold look. It's actually a chrome mask. So a lot of theories are out online right now about this chrome mask. Is this a Stab sequel? Is this like something from a Stab movie? Or is this actually at the climax of this movie? We're all assuming that Stu's house is the climax, by the way. You know that, right? What if it's not the climax? What if there's a climax after Stu's house? You know, similar to, like, I'm getting off topic here. Let's address the chrome mask. Is this going to be Ghostface, or is this going to be somebody that's going to be fighting against Ghostface? Is this somebody that found something in the basement, in the garage, a flamethrower? I don't know who just has that laying around, and having the chrome mask, you know. You see the arm. It looks like a younger person. I don't think it's Stu. I really don't. A lot of people have speculated that it's Dylan Minette's character, just by the way his muscles are on his arm and stuff like that. Like, I'm not buying that either. I don't know, honestly. We don't know. But seeing a chrome mask and a flamethrower, it just screams a Stab movie to me. So don't be surprised if we don't see that, like, very early on in the movie, and it just seems like a Stab sequel, you know, similar to the opening of Scream 4 when they're watching, you know, Stab 3 and Stab 4 and all that kind of stuff, and seeing some really silly stuff, you know. But it could be in the climax, because it does appear that it is Amber getting burnt up. But my idea on this is that what if these new students are making fan films? Isn't that like what people do nowadays? Is we all make like fan films of our favorite, franchise of our favorite films. And what if they're doing that in the Stu Mocker house? Because I think it's Liv McKenzie who actually resides in the Stu Mocker house. So if they have a friend that resides in the Stu Mocker house, they would want to use that and say, hey, this was actually the movie that Stab was based off of. Can we make a short film here? I wouldn't be surprised they use some like YouTube and short film type things in there, or it could be just from a Stab sequel, or it could be from the climax of the movie. I could be completely off here. Let's move on down to the chat. What if the killers are revealed and killed, then Chrome Ghostface comes out with the flamethrower and the movie ends? Yeah, but if that's the case, like, could it be somebody that's like the killers get revealed and then like one of our new cast members or somebody like that dons the Chrome Ghostface that they find somewhere in the house, and then they kill Ghostface? Like, I've thought about that. Like is this one of the survivors that's fighting back against one of the Ghostface killers? It's a possibility, but I don't think the movie's going to end like that. I really don't. I hope not. I hope not. Because, all right, touching on this, Amber, if you slow down some of those steals, it looks like it's the Amber character that's getting burnt up just because she has like bracelets on her wrist and stuff like that. If you've ever seen the film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, came out I think last year or the year before. Very good film. There's an ending scene where something similar happens to the Amber character. Her real name is slipping my mind. I've said it a million times. I just can't think of it right now. But if you watch the climax of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, maybe you can YouTube it. You can see it real quick. She could definitely play a killer. And the way what happens to her in that scene, I'm like, man, like, they got to utilize some of her acting chops for sure. All bets are off, Place your bets. Place your bets. Do you think she's the killer? That flamethrower could be somebody fighting back against her if she is Ghostface. Devontae Huntley says, there's no Stu. Stu is dead. Richie and Amber are the killers. Dewey dies in the hospital when trying to save Tara. Devontae, come on, man. Sam is Billy's daughter. I mean, come on. Like, everybody's been talking about that. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. If that's true, if you're giving away spoilers, man, I'm going to block you, bro, if you've actually seen the movie. Or are you just speculating? Are you just putting out a theory there? That's cool. That's cool, but that is a big theory. That is a theory. That's something that I have thought of. No spoilers. I agree, 77. Mic drop, music plays. I'll take my award now, Devontae. Okay. Devontae, man, if you are dropping some spoilers, man, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to block you. I don't know if that's just you placing your bets or if you're actually putting spoilers down, man. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm going to have to... I'm gonna have to remove you, bro. Let's go here. Craven, is he really? Has he done this in your chat, man? I don't know. I don't know if he was just like placing his bet or if he was actually just giving away spoilers. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Nobody should believe that. I don't believe that at all. I'm not listening to any spoilers, half or fake. Anyways, I'll see it for myself. I believe, yep. See it for yourself, for sure. Scream 4 deserves no love. That movie sucks. I'm going to have to go over some of this stuff. Hopefully this is not... I'm just now getting down. Yeah, knows. Neil should have been in her place. Scream 4 was my least favorite, but I love the character Kirby. Yeah, I love the character Kirby too. I think I think, originally I think Wes Craven was wanting her to come back, and she could, even though if she's not even in this movie, the love for her could still come back. I mean, my idea was always that, like, okay, say she's not a part of this story. Let's say that, like, what's the big thing now? After credit scenes, right? That's what Marvel does. And even a lot of movies are doing that. A lot of people are adapting these after credit scenes. And what if there's an after credit scene with Scream, uh, and what if there's an after credit scene with Scream, and there's like no and there's like a phone call, like you see the landline ring or a cell phone ring, and and then like someone picks it up, but you don't see who it is at first, and it's the Ghostface killer. It's like, "Hello, Kirby," and then she like turns towards the camera, or the camera turns towards her, and then you just hear that sound, and then it just shuts off. Like, that's it. It goes black, setting up that, like, oh, now Ghostface is luring her back, and she survived, and then we get a little bit of her story in the sequel. That's a whole nother story we could go. So, like, I would like to see something like that. I don't want to see. I don't know if Kirby needs to be just shoehorned in here for the sake of fan service. I think that's something you could build upon in another sequel, because, like, if they don't even state that she's dead in this movie, which they probably won't, they can still bring her back. Have you ever seen any of the Fast and the Furious films where you thought like some characters were dead, and then like an after credit scene, they're like, oh damn, no, they retcon it, and they're just like, hey, this is how this happened, and then they make it all tie together in like the next 3-4 films. Hopefully it's something like that, like as much as I want to see Kirby back, I hope she's not dead. Hopefully they don't mention it at all, and they just bring her back at a later time. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would like to see. I hope we do get some after credit scenes. We might not get one for this film, but maybe the next one. Doesn't matter how many people are in the chat. If there is good content and we are enjoying ourselves, not everyone starts out with 1 mil subscribers. Agreed. Like, yeah. I'm just now getting back in the swing of things. 77, Impala Boy. I quit YouTube for a long time, and I had a job that was very time consuming, and so yeah, that's a whole nother story. But now I got a lot more free time to do this with, and it's therapeutic. I like it. My wife gets tired of me talking about horror films, so I love coming on here and just talking about horror films and shooting the shit with all of y'all, and y'all coming and showing me some support. It keeps me making videos, like the video as soon as you can, like it helps out the channel a lot. I think my channel has grown more in the past 3 months than it did like for 2 years on YouTube, and I was doing like totally different stuff. So like this is where my love is horror movies, Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, like the original slashers. Like that's where my love is, and this is my happy place. As cheesy as that sounds. I blocked. Okay, yeah. I don't think Judy is a killer, but I do believe she could have a backstory with Stu for sure. Yeah. I believe that too. I do too. I'm thinking it's the twins. You really do? You think it's Mindy and Chad Meeks? Even though we've seen Chad Meeks get attacked in the trailer, which we've seen pretty much a lot of them get attacked. So which one's misdirect and which one's not? We'll find out. I really don't think Chad is. I think Chad's a goner. Honestly, I think Chad's a goner. They're showing Chad getting stabbed, and many times in the trailer for that to be a real death. Maybe he's just injured. Maybe Ghostface, uses him as bait for the other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, lures him out there close to that shed, pops out, comes up, stabs him he looks like he's already limping by the time Ghostface is running up and stabbing him in the back. So maybe that leaves him injured, leave him out there screaming in agony, but you don't see Ghostface anymore because it disappears in the shadows. And then the people in the house that are left, they hear Chad, and that makes them come outside. And it's a whole, like, this, like, luring them out. I don't know if y'all remember that scene in Friday the 13th remake where Jason, like, was, like, baiting the other kids that were in the cabin. Like, he threw that axe and hit that guy, but he didn't kill him. He let him just sit there and just scream in agony on the ground. And they were like, hey, should we go out there and save him? Should we go out there and help him? And blah, 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 blah. You remember that whole scene? If you've seen Friday the 13th remake, maybe it's something similar like that. But I don't think that it's both the twins. I don't think it's the twins that's the killer. If anything, I would say it's Mindy, because she seems like she is the least suspecting one. And it's always the least suspecting person that you know or you're suspecting. And nobody's really suspecting her. And if you've ever seen that show Yellow Jackets on Showtime, it's a new show where I can't think of her name right now. Is it Jasmine Brown or something like that that plays Mindy Meeks? She is one of the main characters in Yellow Jackets, and if you see her acting chops in that, phenomenal. Really good show if you're down for some like 90s horror and 90s music. Really good cast. I don't know if you have Showtime or not, but try to find a way to watch it. But I'm really excited to see her progress in this movie. But out of everybody that I've seen suspect this person, suspect that person, I have not heard one person suspect Mindy Meeks. But why? Because they think she's going to be the new Randy? Okay, yeah, possibly, and that would be awesome. I would like to see her as the new Randy. But what if she's more than just the new Randy? What if she's the new Randy and the killer? Or, who knows what the misdirect is, because there is a shot where Mindy Meeks is getting attacked in the Scream in the Scream trailer. So who knows? But I'm starting to suspect her more and more the more stuff that I see. If you watch that final trailer also that came out earlier today, whenever Amber is going down in the basement and goes into that fridge, do you remember this scene? And if you slow down the trailer, she shuts the door and she gets spooked by somebody there. You don't know who it is. You're assuming it's Ghostface. But if you slow it down, it's really curly hair and it looks like Mindy Meeks' hair. Could it just be like one of those jump scare moments, or could Mindy Meeks really be a killer? Could go either way. All spoilers ahead. Don't read Devontae's I deleted all his comments. I haven't read anything else. I've read one, and that was it. I deleted them. Sorry about that, everybody. I wish I would have caught that ahead of time. I'm on here just chatting along when I should have been looking out for y'all. Sorry about that. I hope you haven't read it. Amber is fried, literally, no doubt in my mind that she is the person burning in Stu's kitchen. Yeah, I agree, Craven. I think Amber is the one that is getting burned up, without a doubt. But what if they're just making a stab fan film? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought about that. Like, what if the movie opens up like that? Like you think like this horror movie's going along and the Scream killer comes out and burns them up, and then you think the person's dead, but then they all get up and they're just like, cut. Like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome for my online, YouTube or my online fan film or blah, 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 blah. And it's all fake. And then after that, the actual kill takes place. I could see something like that. I don't know if you ever seen, like, one of my favorite whodunit films is Mindhunters with, it's got Val Kilmer, Christian Slater, and Ella Cool J, among others. And it's a Rennie Harlan film. I mentioned Rennie Harlan earlier for A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. But, like, he made this movie, and it was, like, a phenomenal, like, whodunit movie. It had production issues, and it was delayed, and it was shelved for a little bit, and then it finally came out. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, really good whodunit movie. It's like FBI agents on an island doing training, but then people actually start getting killed, and and the killer is setting traps based off of their profiling. The killer is profiling the trainees and setting traps, and that's how he's killing them. It's almost like Jigsaw before Saw came out. I feel like Saw, the movie Saw, took inspiration from Mindhunters. And I'm not talking about Mindhunter on Netflix, not the TV show. Not talking about that at all. Totally different thing. Mindhunters is a movie that came out probably in 2005, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if you've seen that movie. But at the opening of that movie, you thought that like people were getting killed and they were doing this, they were busting up in a house, and then you come to find out it was just an FBI training thing. Everyone woke up and was just like, hey, this was just a training exercise. This wasn't real, blah, 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 blah. They could do something similar like that with Scream and with the stab movies. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems real at first, and then like, hey, we were just making a movie, you know? Maybe they're doing that with Amber. Could be completely wrong, but it's a possibility. What is your favorite kill from the first 4 movies? My favorite kill from the first 4 movies. Man, the one that really sticks out to me, you can't go wrong with Casey Becker. Something about that scene that was just like suspenseful, horrific, gory. It had all the chills. It had all the chills. It was amazing. It was like a home invasion type movie, that first opening scene, and Scream has had a hard time of capturing that suspense throughout the franchise. They've had great moments, but capturing that actual suspense of Casey Becker's death has been hard to capture again. But if I had to put Casey Becker aside, I mean, obviously Tatum's scene in the doggy door was awesome. Even though it's really unrealistic, that's a really strong doggy door. Realistically, that wouldn't have happened, but it is a cool kill, kind of a Jason kill. But if I had to pick from one of the other sequels, let me think of it. I would say Scream 2 had some cool kills. Scream 2, you know, like the cop getting killed, being, you know, with that bar going through his head was pretty horrifying. Like that was pretty cool. That was a different way. There's not too many different ways that like Ghostface has killed people in these movies. It's always stab, stab, stab. But in this new film, I heard he like uses other ways to kill people, and it's very gory. It's very brutal. So I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully some of my better new kills. I never really watched the Scream movies for the kills. I really watched them for the story and just the enjoyment. It's like a roller coaster. It's a fun ride. It's like going to a theme park. It's like a theme park horror movie. It's a blockbuster horror movie. That's the way I can say it. Block Devontae. Yeah, I did. We never seen Kirby die. Hold on, this just jumped. We never seen Kirby die. She was an interesting enough character that I think could play a bigger part in a sequel. Yes, I agree. Like I said, seeing her as like an after credit scene, you know, going into Scream 6, Scream 7, I think that would be great. Leave it for that. You know, leave us something to chew on, you know, for a next movie. Dylan's character is the biggest mystery to me. His name is literally Wes Craven, and has the least footage shown in the trailer. I thought the same thing. What do they have in store for this character? Especially with us not hearing anything about him in the fourth film, and you're going to bring him back here. There's got to be some key to him. Something. If I had to pick between Judy or Wes being the killer, I know some people look at both of them being the killers. No, that don't make sense to me. If you really watch the trailers, you really think about it, that don't make sense. I could see Wes being the killer. I could see him like faking his death or coming up missing and being revealed at the end as the killer. I could see that. But I do think that that's the link between Scream 1996, and Scream 4 is they're holding back a lot on his character. Let's see here. Dylan's character is the biggest mystery. Billy faked getting stabbed in front of Sydney. Jill actually did get cut in Scream 4, so an attack could definitely be faked or misdirection. Very true, very true. You do see Jill get sliced. There's always like someone getting their arm sliced. Tatum got her arm sliced in Scream 1, but then she did get killed right after that. But do you remember like Ghostface grabbing her arm and then just slicing her arm, and then they had that big little fight scene, you know, in Stu's garage? And then Scream 2, you got Derek got his arm sliced, and then the killer ran away. He was kind of a red herring at that point. And then, did someone get sliced in Scream 3? Slipping my mind. Let me know in the comment section or in the chat that if someone got sliced in Scream 3. But Scream 4, Jill did get sliced, and that was kind of like, you know, that was all a big setup. And then if you do look at this trailer in Scream 5, Richie gets his arm sliced. And then there's stills of him having bandages on his arm. So he's going to become a red herring, similar to Derek or Jill. So they're going to play with our minds on that, you know, which is cool, I like that. Kirby is dead. She was stabbed in the gut deep and left to bleed out. Jill also tells Dewey she's dead, and he doesn't correct her only when she stated Sydney was probably dead too. Kirby is dead. You think what? I don't know about Kirby being dead. I don't know about Kirby being dead. Is that the Devontae guy again? I don't know if you're giving away spoilers or what, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you're coming a little sketch on me, man. One of my favorite kills is Tatum in Part 1 and Casey Becker also. Scream 1 opening scene is classic and hard to beat. Yes, it is. Casey Becker's scene is just like phenomenal. And I have the Scream 4 steelbook like on 4K, and that movie holds up. So it looks so good on 4K. Honestly, they did a really good transfer. There are problems with, you know, there's several times that Casey Becker could have called the police during Paul's moments, but we're talking about teenagers here. And then that isn't thinking right. And then there's that part where she could have tossed the phone at her parents, even though her throat was slashed and she's kind of distracted and, you know, probably not thinking about it. There were several things that people could do in these situations, but the way the entire scene was you know, done was phenomenal. It had suspense, it had comedy, it had horror. I mean, it was horrific. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. It hit all the notes, really, to be a great horror scene. And I just hope we get some more scenes like that. That's what I was hoping for Scream 4, was that we were going to get a scene like that. And I hope we get that for Scream 5. Let's bring it back. Bring it back to its roots. Let's get, if you're really going to get brutal with it, let's get back on that tone. You know what I'm saying? Scream 4's opening, I just did not like whatsoever. I could care less. I kept waiting for it to still say that it was a stab sequel. I was like, this can't be real. Ghostface doesn't even sound right in this dialogue. But anyways, let's move on. Do here. My favorite kill from the first 4 movies had to be the police officer getting stabbed in the forehead and punched in the air before he died. You talking about Anthony Anderson? Yeah. That where he's like, fuck Bruce Willis. Yeah. That was a pretty funny scene. I wanted a little bit more out of both of the cops, you know, Adam Brody and Anthony Anderson. I was like, if you really think about it, Adam Brody just got stabbed in the back and then just fell off screen, right? Anthony Anderson got stabbed in the forehead. Who's to say that, like, Adam Brody even really died? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was such a weak death. It was like, ugh, and then he just falls over. And then Anthony Anderson actually gets it in the forehead and had that little gag moment. I really wanted them to put up a little bit more of a fight. Just a little bit. You know, like, maybe trying to take down Ghostface and they both get killed. You know, like, I felt like they were taken out way too easy. way too easy. They're like comedy relief, and that's the one thing about Scream 4 is like too much comedy. Too much comedy. Just didn't work for me. I don't know. I don't know. You might not feel the same about it. But that's how I feel. Great stuff, man. I'm calling it a night. Hit me up on Instagram or Twitter message, and we can chat about a collab. Talk soon. Yeah, Craven. Okay, good night, man. Good night, brother. Yeah. I'll hit you up. We'll do a collab here soon. That'd be great. People's been saying it in my chat lately, too. And, yeah, man, it'd be great, man. Big fan of your channel. I'll hit you up here soon, okay? We'll discuss after Scream 5's release. How about that? We'll see each other on the flip side. Because right now everything is so sketch. But yeah, man. Hashtag bring Stu back. Yep, I feel you, brother. All right, good night, brother. Let's move on. Movie theater opening kill from Scream 2 was cool too. We hadn't had seen anything like that. You're right. Jinsaku, am I pronouncing that right? Sorry if I'm butchering your name, but yeah. We haven't seen anything like that, like a theater kill again. That would be good to see. I just revisited that. Like I just watched Scream 2 earlier. We're gonna do Scream 3 live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Live stream, revisiting all the movies. I keep saying that in these streams and in my videos. Just a reminder if you want to come and be a part of that chat. But yeah, it was really good. Like the way it was orchestrated, you thought it was just an act. Really cool how it played out. Didn't really top Scream 1. Something missing about it. I felt like when Jada Pinkett Smith gets in front of that theater screen and like it's crying and screaming in agony and does like this a little bit too dramatic. Kind of took me out a little bit. I would have just rather have seen her like struggle and just fall. But still a really good opening. Would like to see something similar to that. Let's see here. I'll let you know if someone gets sliced in Scream 3. I'm watching it now. Yeah, let me know if there is is there a scene where someone gets sliced on their arm in Scream 3? It's kind of like a staple for these movies, but I feel like Scream 3 just didn't do it. Maybe it was just a Kevin Williamson thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in every one of his scripts. But what was it? Aaron Kruger wrote Scream 3, so maybe he just didn't put it in the script. Like I said, it's the black sheep of the franchise, but I do have love for it. I still have fun with it. If you take Scream 3 off of that movie and you take the costume away from the killer, you put a different costume or a different mask on the killer and you call it something else, a lot of people would like it. A lot of people would still enjoy it, even though it's a little tongue-in-cheek and a little meta and all that kind of stuff. Really cool. Very Scooby-Doo-ish, but fun. It's not a boring movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's not made to be taken seriously. Kind of like lost its roots. Similar to like Halloween Resurrection. A lot of people bang on Halloween Resurrection. And I'm with you. I understand why you would hate Halloween Resurrection. But if Halloween Resurrection was a different slasher movie, not Michael Myers, not Halloween, if it was a different mask, a different killer, and a different title, you would like that movie. It had some cool ideas. It had some good deaths. Just don't call it Halloween. Don't call it Michael Myers. Call it something else. It's like they took a script from a different horror franchise or a different idea for a horror villain and implemented it into a big blockbuster name. If it was something totally different, I think everybody would like it. But that's a whole nother topic. Scream 3 I still do enjoy. Do you think Scream 3 is as bad as people say it is? While the first two are my favorites, I really did enjoy part 3 a lot and had the strongest climax in my opinion, other than the original. You do think Scream 3 had the strongest climax in your opinion? Like you really do believe that? It does have some great moments. I do like I think what was lacking for me was Roman wasn't in the movie enough. Roman wasn't shown enough. I didn't feel like he was a part of the main squad. Does that make sense? In all the other movies, in Scream 1 and Scream 2, Stu, Billy felt like they were part of the main cast. Mickey, not so much Miss Loomis. She was kind of a side character. But Mickey was a part of the main cast. I felt like they got more screen time. I just felt like Roman didn't get enough screen time throughout Scream 3. And when he was revealed, I was real young and I was kind of like, wait, what? Like, who is this again? Oh, okay. But the way the fight scene was between Sydney and her brother Roman was awesome. Really cool fight scene, really cool dynamics, really cool with like Dewey coming in and shooting him, and the idea of him being supernatural and all that, but he had like a bulletproof vest on and then he had to shoot him in the head. That was all cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Great ideas. I just wanted the killer reveal to be a little bit more impactful for me. And I wanted them to be two killers. That was another thing. I was waiting for that second killer. I was like, all right, when's the second surprise going to come in? Oh, this is it. This is it. We're wrapping it up. Oh, if they were going to bring somebody back that was going to be a killer from the past, I wanted to see that killer from Scream 1. Let it be somebody from the first Scream movie, or somebody that was talked about at least in the first Scream movie. We knew nothing about. How the hell are we going to guess Roman? How in the hell are we going to guess Roman as the killer when we knew nothing about Sydney having a brother? It just all felt like an afterthought. I just don't know. But I've grown to appreciate him more. I'm glad you like it, 77. Let's move on. Still holding out hope that Judy reveals herself to be creepy Karen. I've made videos on this about how Judy, it could possibly be creepy Karen from high school that Randy talked about, or maybe Billy hooked up with, or even Stu hooked up with. You know, who knows? She does give those creepy vibes, so maybe she's creepy Karen. Maybe her name really isn't Judy. Maybe she's really Karen Hicks, you know, or Karen Judy Hicks, or Judy Karen Hicks, you know, like maybe there's something like that, you know. And maybe when that's revealed, you're like, oh shit, she's the killer. And then come to find out, no, it's actually her son, Wes Hicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, do a little switcheroo. Give us who we think it is, and you think it's been revealed, but then there's another reveal on top of the reveal. I like those kind of movies. I like those kind of whodunits. Let's see here. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but I'm excited to see almost every review for the new Scream is super positive, best since the... I know, right? I know. These reactions have got me even more pumped than I ever was. I was like, wow, like, people are giving it praise. The only person I have seen that did not give it praise is the Flick Pick. And I'm a big fan of the Flick Picks channel, you know? Like, but if you hear him talk in that review, or in that, you know, reaction right out the theater reaction that he came out with the other day, he says he doesn't even really remember much of the sequels. You know, he said that he liked the original when it first came out and all that. So it doesn't sound like he's the biggest Scream fan. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, maybe he's just not watching it with the same lens as all of us will. You know, maybe it's not as impactful for him because he can't even remember the sequel. So why take his review to heart? Even though he is a great reviewer, he's got a great channel. No hate towards him. He's great. Just maybe Scream just isn't his thing. You know. After watching Scary Movie, I can't watch the first two Scream movies the same. I know. Listen, me and a buddy of mine, we were watching Scream 1 Monday and Scream 2, revisiting these, doing live streams, and there's just things that just stuck in your head that like, hey, didn't this already happen like this? And it was just like, no, that was Scary Movie. And it was just like, man, I need to rewatch Scary Movie. I think after I watch all the Scream movies this week, even Scream 5, I think I'm going to revisit Scary Movie. Just for the same vein as Scream, and I'll do a review on my channel as well. So subscribe, like, all that's good stuff to get the algorithm for my video to get viewed and all that kind of stuff. Like, I really appreciate all the support. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do a review of Scary Movie. I have not seen that movie in years, and what better time to watch that after watching all the Scream movies, But a lot of times even David Arquette says at a lot of these horror conventions that he gets mistaken as Doofy instead of Dewey, and he has to like remind them, no, I'm Dewey, not Doofy. So that movie just like, for the simple reason that Scream was originally written as Scary Movie. That was the original title. Then the studio changed Kevin Williamson's script to Scream. And then later, a year later, that they were like, hey, we're going to greenlight, and the Wayans brothers are going to do a spoof on the Scary Movies. And they called it Scary Movie. And they did a lot of stuff from Scream. I know what you did last summer, Scream 2. It just kind of stuck with you. It's hard to think of Dewey and not think of Doofy from Scary Movie. And it sucks. But the movies were very funny. The first two Scary Movie movies were very funny. But yeah. I'm definitely gonna revisit and review that on my channel very soon. Nobody got arm sliced in Scream 3. Okay, thanks, Darian. So yeah, I didn't think so. I couldn't remember. That's crazy, Like that seemed like it's always, it is, even in this new one, it seems like Richie's getting his arm sliced. So like Scream 3 is like I said, just didn't stick with the same formula, and it just went very meta. It went like meta on top of meta, and it was just like, this is very Scooby-Doo-esque. You know what I'm saying? I need to get a drink. My beer's getting hot, guys. It's getting late. I'm glad y'all are all here. Thank you for joining me in this chat. This is awesome. My wife gets tired of me talking about Scream and horror movies, so I'm glad y'all came by and talked to me with all this. Like I said, place your bets. Who do you officially think? And don't change it. Stick with it. You get two choices. Who is Ghostface? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comment section if you're watching this at a later time. And don't change it. Just stick with that. Place your bets. And we all come back Thursday night or Friday. I am going to have a live stream Thursday night after I see the movie. I see the movie Thursday night at 7 p.m. Okay, I have a friend that runs a theater. I'm able to see the movie. Very cool. So I'm going to do a live stream that night. So if you don't want any spoilers or anything, don't join that live stream until after you've seen the movie. Then come back and watch that live stream. But I will have an initial review also on my channel. So yeah, let's move on. Where were we? Nobody got their arm sliced in Scream 3. Yeah, that I didn't think they did. Thank you for that. You really couldn't recognize a dude without his glasses on. He didn't have glasses on because he had the mask on. I'm sure many people would take their glasses off if wearing a mask. No, I get that, Devontae. Devontae, just to let you know, I know you're back in the chat and everything. No spoilers, man. I don't know if you were intentionally putting out spoilers or if you're just putting out like you're placing your bets and what you think that is going to happen. But no spoilers, man, or I will block you, bro. I'll block anybody. That's not just towards you. I don't want any spoilers for the movie. But yeah, I understand with that, with wearing the glasses, Roman wearing the glasses underneath the mask. I get that. I understand all of that. It's just I don't think Roman had enough screen time in Scream 3 for it to be that impactful, especially to have this afterthought of Sydney's, long lost brother and got the door shut in his face from Maureen Prescott and all that. Like, it just at that point, I just didn't care. I was just like, this all seems like an afterthought and forced. Where is Kevin Williamson to write this script? I wish they kind of retconned Scream 3 a little bit. They never mentioned Scream 3, really. And having Roman be the only killer was refreshing, given Scream 1 and Scream 2 had two. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can get that. With being the mastermind, and maybe Stu can be that in the next couple sequels. But here's the thing, is that originally There was supposed to be two killers in Scream 3. There was supposed to be Angelina and Roman. They were going to be secret lovers, relationship, you know, and some people will still argue that there still was two killers in it. And if you see how Jill gets stabbed at the bottom of that stairwell of Scream 3, it was kind of just like one stab and then drug away. It seemed kind of like staged, but that's where that Scooby-Doo-esque comes. You know, like it didn't feel realistic, felt more like fun. Or was that just orchestrated and she was originally supposed to come out, you know? So who knows? Who knows if Angelina... I thought Angelina was always a red herring. I really didn't think that she was... I didn't really think that she was going to be a killer. I thought that was too much on the nose, especially when she was in the stall with Sydney and she had the Ghostface mask. I'm like, it's too obvious. Like, come on. Come on. Shriek, If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th is also a parody of Scream released in 2000. I remember that. I vaguely remember that release. Did that have Tiffany Amber Thiessen in it and like Tom Arnold? I'm remembering the front cover of the case, and I remember renting it whenever I was like a kid, and it was kind of funny. Like I remember, you know, I thought it was one of the best. There's a lot of them at that time. Like, man, they were like so many straight to DVD ones. But I remember that being one of the straight to DVD ones that was a little bit better than most. Doofy is better. Till this day, I always call Cindy from Scary Movie. Yeah, and they had a good actress to play that role too. She was Anna Faris was awesome, which was married to what's his name, who was Star-Lord, and Chris Pratt. Yeah, she's a great actress. She's cool. She doesn't get enough recognition. There's a Kirby Easter egg in Scream 5. Okay, I don't want to know it. I have a feeling Wes may be one of the killers. Not sure on a second killer yet. I don't know either. Do you think it's going to be one killer? Do you think it's going to be multiple? You think it's going to be two? Think it's going to be three? The original script ending for Scream 2 was going to be 3 killers. I think it was actually going to be 4. I think it was Haley, Derek, Cotton, and Mrs. Loomis. And then after the big struggle, it was Cotton and Sydney were having this big stab out, and they were just going at it, just cutting each other up, stabbing each other, and then they were laying out, and then the screen goes to black, and you don't know what happens to Sydney or Cotton Weary. That was the original script, but it got leaked, and then we got the script, we got the ending that we have today, the theatrical release. Let's see here. Tara is not a killer. That's what I suspect from the trailer. I think it's Amber and someone. Richie, Stab, Chad and West. Chad, West, and Liv. Tiffany is in Shriek. She played the Gale character named Hagatha. It'd be cool if there was 3 or a mastermind. Yeah. I think there should be. It would be really cool if there's like 2 killers, and then if they are going to bring back Stu, bring him back as the mastermind. You know what I'm saying? Don't film it in a way that it's like, oh, 2 killers have to do this, and then only have only have 1 killer at the end. Don't have your third act reveal 1 killer whenever it appeared to be there's at least 2 killers orchestrating all this. Similar to like Scream 3, you know, it seemed like, whoa, how in the hell did Ghostface fall down a story on that set, and then you hear Sydney's mother underneath a bloody sheet from a crime scene in the next room over on that floor, and she turns around immediately and goes in there, and then the Ghostface killer steps up from the sheet, kind of messing with her head. There's no way that killer could have got from down there to there. There had to have been 2 killers. Just the way that movie was. Even in Milton's house, even with all those secret passageways and stuff, yeah, you could argue that like the killer was getting around the house like that. But there's certain times that like the killer was here and then turn around, it was over here. But the main part that like really stuck out in that film was on the set when Sydney was visiting, the house, and she like tosses the killer off, and then she turns around and the killer is talking to her like in her mother's voice, and she gets lured into that room. That was the part that was like, all right, there's got to be two killers. There's got to be. It'd be cool if there was three killers or a mastermind. Isn't Tara the opening kill? That's what is suspected. Like, a lot of people are saying that she's the opening kill, and she's like, but she actually survives it. I don't know if I like that. No, Scream has to have an actual kill with the opening act, okay? I could see an opening kill that maybe we haven't even seen any footage of yet. It could be anybody. It could be Martha Meeks. It could be it could be anybody, Like Joel, the cameraman from Scream 2, I heard, is supposedly back from this. He's put stuff out on Twitter. Even Stu said some stuff that he deleted. I mean, Matthew Lillard, saying like, TV just landed on my head, right? I have to be back, right? And then he deleted it, like, they could be just messing with us, or the studios could have made them delete their comments, because they might say, hey, if you ever want to be in a sequel, you better delete these comments, or whatever the case may be. But I would like to see an actual just typical kill, opening scene, make it awesome, and then that Tara scene that we see a lot of in the trailer be like a couple scenes later with similar to Sydney's scene with Ghostface in Scream 1. You know how you had Casey Becker's opening kill, and then a couple scenes later you see Sydney get attacked, but she survives. She doesn't really get attacked as bad as Tara does, but similar in that nature, that type of formula. Let's see here. I think it's interesting the killers are targeting relatives of Billy and Stu. If Stu was the mastermind in this film, I'd love to see his reasoning behind it to kill his own family as well. Well, I don't know if they're killing Stu's family. Is anybody a mocker? Is anybody... That's the thing. That's what's surprising, is like we've heard that Sam possibly is a Loomis, and maybe Tara too, but we have heard speculation that Sam is a Loomis. Who did Billy and Stu kill that could make this killer want revenge on people that are related to the killers? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know who's a mocker. I don't know. That's crazy. That I ain't really thought about it, but I don't know if that's the way they're gonna go or not. Maybe they're just targeting Billy's family. Who knows? I don't know. Her surviving will be the first opening kill survivor, right? Like that doesn't scream. Is that a thing? It doesn't scream. Like, no, you have to die in the opening scene. Tara is a survivor, too obvious to be killed. There's freshening things up. We don't need to see a kill every movie opening. Okay, well, I disagree with you, Devontae. I think we do. That's just the formula. Like, we all, like, who is going to be that opening kill? What's going to be the shocking opening kill? And that's the thing about Scream 4. I just wasn't shocked by it. Now, the deleted scene of Scream 4, I wish they would have kept. There's a lot of deleted scenes in Scream 4 that they should have kept that would have like changed the tone, made the movie so much more better, made it feel like more of a Scream, like Scream 1, like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they cut out that was very questionable. Tara looks 15, 16 years old, so I wouldn't be surprised if she survived. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter if she's 15, 16 years old. But I do think she survives. I just hope she's not the opening attack or a kill, or you think she dies and then, oh, she survived, like on a stretcher and she's taken to the hospital. I just hope that's after the opening scene. I hope we get a different opening scene. A lot of people are assuming that that is the opening scene. What if the opening doesn't have a kill? Does something different and just has an attack? Dewey does tell Sydney over the phone there has been 3 attacks. He doesn't say kills. True, very true. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really do think that Judy survives her attack. If you see that, I've done some videos on that, how she's taken out on a stretcher. I think Tara survives, and possibly Vince. If you see Vince survive with the car at the back of that bar, maybe he's just, you know, attacked and not killed, and maybe there's like 3 people in the hospital, and there's like, you know, like it seems like a lot of the location takes place in the hospital. So if you got like 3 victims laid up, attacked in the hospital, one of them might be the killer. It might be orchestrated if there's cameras or smart cameras around the house or an area for them to look like they were attacked or something like that. But I don't want to see that as an opening kill. I want to see a traditional opening kill for Scream 5. Let's see here. What does that have to do with her surviving? If Tara doesn't die in the opening kill, they have to kill her boyfriend or someone in the opening. Yeah. I mean, that's justifiable. If they do like a Stephen Orth thing with like Casey Becker and Stephen Orth, like if boyfriend gets killed or girlfriend gets killed, but the other girl survives, you know, or something like that. I have also put out there that, like, what if we obviously, and this will be a little bit demented, a little bit psychological, but we see that Sam has some type of visions. We see that she's haunted by something. She's haunted by Ghostface. She sees it, and then Ghostface isn't there. What if Sam, and this is a wild theory, what if Sam is actually a killer, but she doesn't know she's the killer? Like, her split personality is the killer. And what if Richie is orchestrating, is like guiding her to do this? Like, he seems like a loving, protecting boyfriend, but he has like some type of way that he controls her. Like, he knows what she's doing and he's kind of coaching her, and they're both killers, just Sam doesn't know that she's a killer. That's something that hasn't been done before. Let me know what you think about that theory. That's just something I came up with recently, seeing some of the last TV spots. Let's move on here. I think she could get attacked in the opening and live, but then die in the hospital in the theory. Yep, I think so too. Let them change things up. Why stick to the same routine every time? Yeah, I mean, I'm all about changing things up, but that opening scene before that title card Scream comes up, I think that it needs to have an impact. And if you have someone survive from the opening scene, that's less of an impact. I don't know. I could be wrong. It might feel the same. We'll find out here in about 32 hours, or I will. I also think Ghostface is attacking people and purposefully not killing them to cause chaos and panic and to throw everyone off. It seems like the killers are killing specific people. Yeah, he's definitely targeting people, and it also is said in the trailer that, you know, he's targeting people that are related to the killers. So what if that? Why though? Why? Or is it just to start up a new legacy? I also thought about Stu. Like, if it is Stu, maybe if you really think through the franchise, Billy is always getting recognition for stuff, right? Billy is always getting recognition for Ghostface, for the Woodsboro killings. Stu didn't get much of a recognition. Maybe this is his time to shine. Maybe this is him saying, hey, no, this is my movie. Oh, you've seen that movie? You haven't seen this movie. And he's starting his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he did survive, you know, I think that would be cool. I think that would be really, really cool. And that would be going back to the original and branching off in a different direction. There's got to be a pivotal moment in this movie to where Sydney is no longer important. There's got to be a part where, like, Ghostface almost has her dead to rights, and he just goes the opposite direction, going after Sam or Tara or somebody else. It's got to be that pivotal moment to where it's like Sydney, this isn't about you. You're not important anymore. This is a new story. You know, it's got to be it. It's passing the torch. Yeah. So let's see here. What does Tara's age look 15 to 16 have to do with her living? I see y'all are talking to each other. And someone who gets attacked is probably the killer or killers. 3 people get attacked and live, but are revealed to be the 3 killers later on. Yeah, maybe. What if Tara's attack is all an act? What if she's got smart devices, smart locks on your front door and all that kind of stuff. Why would she have smart cameras in her house? You know what I'm saying? Outside and inside. What if she crazy enough to come up with this whole script and this whole idea of whoever her partner is, and creates like this brutal attack on herself on camera, so it makes her look like a victim to lure her sister back? That would be a cool twist. That would be really cool. I'm going to be wrapping stuff up here, guys, here very soon. Remember, Scream 3 live stream is tomorrow, 10 a.m. I got to get some rest for that. And then Thursday, Scream 4, 10 a.m., same time, Central Standard Time. And then I'm seeing Scream 5 that night. So around 10 p.m., I'll let you know that on Thursday, my live stream for Scream 5, I'm going to do all the spoilers. So if you don't want to know anything, don't watch it until after you've seen the film. But if you don't care, and if you want to be a part of it, and if you have seen Scream 5, join the chat. We're going to discuss everything from the beginning to the end. So yeah, expect that Thursday night, probably around 10 p.m. is what I'm shooting for. If not, no later than midnight. So it'll be a late night live stream just like this one. So be looking out for that. I'll put a reminder out also on YouTube. So let's see here. Sam being the killer could be the possibility since she let Tara live in the opening, but that'll be too obvious. Yeah, there might be some kind of big twist with, you know, the sisters. I don't know. Something. Youngest looking character in the screen, so she might be. Maybe. I'm going to be going to bed soon as well. It was nice chatting with you, man. Have a good one. I subscribe. Thanks. Yeah, I feel you, 77. Yeah, I'm about to go to bed too. I'm about to call it a night. All right. I'll see you guys all on the flip side. Same. Good night, guys. Nice chatting. See y'all. Yeah, Judsuka, if I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for coming by. Thanks to everybody for chatting with me. I'm about to hang this up. Hope everybody enjoys Scream 5. Come by and see the live stream of Scream 3 if you want to watch along. It'll be tomorrow. Scream 4 will be Thursday, like I said. Scream 5 live stream later that night. I think Dewey won't die. Thinking Gale instead. Honestly, I always thought Gale would be the most expendable one. We always think that it always shows like Dewey almost getting killed in the trailers, doesn't it? Like even in Scream 3, when that knife is getting thrown and it's just flipping and it's coming at his head and stuff, it's like they play on that with us, you know? Like, we're like, oh dang, Dewey's about to get killed, and then it never happens. But it might actually happen in this one. But they might switch it up and he actually survive, and then Gale actually goes to revenge. Like maybe Dewey gets attacked and he's in the hospital as well, you know, or he's in a coma or something. Gale goes and revenges his attack, and she actually gets killed. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. But I would honestly, I really think Gale's the most expendable one. I really would like to see Dewey stay in the franchise and Gale go first. If Dewey does die, being a later sequel. But they are going to focus a lot on Dewey in this film, from what I hear. I think Dewey won't. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you. I hope not, but we will see. I believe Dewey loses it after Judy dies, and that leads to Gale passing away. I don't know if Judy really going to die though. because you see her getting brought out on that stretcher. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? Who knows? She might survive. I think Dewey might save her in that situation. You know, like I think the way that whole scene is going to play out, I think Judy gets a call from Ghostface, similar to how Cotton Weary got his call at the beginning of Scream 3 about Wes getting attacked. She's rushing home to save Wes's life. She calls Dewey in the process. Dewey is headed to the house as well. Judy goes into the house before Dewey even gets there. She's looking for him, can't find Wes, and then Judy is attacked, and they struggle to the front steps of, outside the front of the house, because it looks like, Ghostface is stabbing her outside, somebody that's blonde, and it looks like Judy. And maybe Dewey pulls up real quick and starts firing on him, similar that he's done in the past, especially in Scream 4, whenever he started shooting towards Ghostface and saving Gail Weathers. But this time, he's saving Judy, and then you see Gail Weathers show up to the crime scene later, and you see Judy it looks like she's sitting up on a gurney, like a stretcher, getting put in the back of an ambulance, and maybe that's like their whole dynamic. She's like, maybe that's like, oh yeah, we're divorced now, but now you saved Judy, blah, 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 blah. Maybe there's that whole back and forth there, that little jealousy, I really do think Judy's going to be the new Dewey, honestly. Or she could get killed later on. Maybe even if she survives that scene, she might get killed later on. I think they like making him look like Ghostface's. Yeah. Yeah, it could be Dewey. Like, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I'm about to wrap it up, guys. I've been on here for a long time. I've enjoyed everything that we talked about tonight. Place your bets below. Let me know in the chat and in the comment section, and don't change it. Stick with it. Who do you think is the killer? I originally said Amber and Richie. I've made videos on it, but I have changed my mind, and I'm going to stick with Wes and Mindy, or it's either one of them or both of them, and I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. Originally, I would say Amber or Richie, especially Amber, but I'm going to say now Wes and Mindy, and I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change my mind until I see the movie. So you will find out Thursday night on the live stream for Scream 5. I'm going to do all the spoilers. Be there. Subscribe to Destination Station. Like this video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're on the Scream 3 live stream. And I'll see you Thursday night. All right, guys. Thank y'all. This is Destination Station. I am out. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to finish this beer first, and then I'm going to hit the hay. All right, guys. Peace.